we are seeing unprecedented flooding, particularly in northern New South Wales, and we expect that flooding to get worse. Many would have seen distressing images of survival, and there are many distressing reports, particularly around the Lismore area, of people who are isolated and currently stranded. And I want to make it clear that we are doing everything we can to provide help and support as quickly and as safely as possible. I would like to thank everybody, particularly in the SES, who are providing all the support they can to help those communities, particularly in northern New South Wales. We have seen to date over 500 flood rescues. We've had 927 requests for assistance over the last 24 hours. There are currently, and this is important, there are 12 evacuation orders currently in place, which are affecting close to 16,000 people in the northeast of our state. Now, if you are in one of those areas and you can evacuate safely, please do so. If you are unsure, please contact the SES on 132 500, and if your life is at risk, please contact 000. There are, in addition to those 12 areas that are facing evacuation orders, there are 6 areas where there is an evacuation warning in place. Commissioner York will speak to these areas. These 6 areas affect around 14,000 people. If you are in one of those areas where there is an evacuation warning in place, please begin planning and preparing for evacuation. And if you can leave, and it is safe to do so, please leave. We note that these areas where there is an evacuation warning in place can become an evacuation order. For those people in communities where it has not flooded before, please do not think that a flood will not occur in your community. We have seen this flooding to be unprecedented, particularly in this area. So please continue to follow the instructions of the SES. Be patient. We are doing everything that we can to provide the help and support for people in these flooded communities. And Commissioner York will provide further information. But as I said, simply because your community has not flooded in the past does not mean that it will not flood over the course of this week. What we are seeing today is unprecedented, and the advice that we have received is that we would expect things to get worse over this period of time. So if you are subject to one of these warnings, please do not be complacent. We know that the situation here in our state is moving quickly, and we are doing everything that we can to provide that help and support for those affected communities in the north. Our message to motorists is do not drive through floodwaters. We say this every time during flooding events. If you drive through floodwaters, you are putting your life and the lives of others at risk. So please, as I said, follow those instructions, follow the advice from the SES, and do not, under any circumstances, drive through those floodwaters. Today, we have stood up the State Emergency Operations Centre here in Homebush, just as we did during the bushfires, for a whole-of-government response. This will be managed under the leadership of the SES Commissioner, Carleen York, alongside Deputy Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon. This will manage a multi-agency response. We do expect the events of flooding that we are seeing in the northeast to move south over the course of this week. The conditions are expected here in New South Wales to get worse. So whilst at the moment the flooding is located in north and northeast New South Wales, we would expect over the course of this week for that flooding to move further south to the south coast, and also flash flooding in various areas across our state. I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for the support that he has provided, in addition to the ADF support, and we already have ADF personnel on the ground, as well as aircraft to assist with logistics and sandbagging. This is of great assistance to us. The aircraft will assist over this period of time with rescues and support our air assets in addition to that. So we acknowledge, though, the conditions at this time are incredibly difficult and challenging, and that has restricted the capacity for air rescues at the moment. But as conditions ease, thus the assistance from the federal government, in addition to the SES support, will provide great assistance to those people. Can I ask those people who are isolated at the moment, please be patient. Please be patient, but be assured we are doing everything we can to help you, to get you through. Can I also ask anyone in those areas to follow those instructions? I've said that from the start. The SES are there, those instructions are there to provide safety and support to you at this difficult time. I want to thank our men and women in the SES and all personnel who are on the front line at the moment, doing everything they can to provide that support. I ask people if they can monitor the SES website, please do so, and ABC Radio as well. If you're unsure, please contact the SES on 132 500. And if it is a life-threatening, if you believe that your life is under threat, please contact 000. Our state has gone through many challenges in the past, and just like the bushfires and the floods over the last couple of years, we will get through this challenge as well. We are doing everything we can from a whole-of-government perspective to get our state through this difficult time. As I've said from the start, we do expect, despite the unprecedented flooding that we are seeing in the north, we do expect conditions to get worse. So once again, please follow those instructions. The SES are there to provide that support, and through the State Emergency Operations Centre today, we will once again have a whole-of-government approach in ensuring that every community right across our state gets through this difficult time.